Hello everyone. Hello. Oh, sorry. One thing I learned on YouTube is you gotta lower your voice, low voice. Hello everyone. So this channel hasn't really been active recently. I haven't made a video in like many years. I've just been busy with things. But the last video I made, which was a silly thing about LEGO Beatles building their submarine, was somehow very popular. It got around 40,000 views, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for me and this channel, that is like a lot. And it's got a lot of positive comments, including a series of comments from this guy who's very interested in this video, Preston Gray. Shout out to Preston Gray. And I originally did not have a plan for any sort of sequel or series or anything, but I just kind of said that I did as a joke. It was kind of a play on Christopher Nolan's Batman thing. But basically, the original idea was just to make a stupid video that I would just build the submarine like I do with all my other build LEGO videos. And then I added a little 2-minute story onto the beginning of it, which, watching it again, it's kind of clever, and I kind of like it. And I guess people like it because most of the comments are pretty positive. And I like how I like the little homages that I threw in. So, I was pretty proud of it, even though it is very amateurish and kind of not the greatest. But since it's been so popular, I got kind of motivated to make kind of a sequel or a series. And so I'm going to describe that, and then I'm also going to describe very roughly like the plot of my idea for part 2. And then I'm going to talk about how I'm planning on potentially making this happen. So it's going to start with, or at least this is my idea, my plan. We'll see if it actually works out this way. I want to start with kind of a shot while the submarine is driving through water, and it comes across an octopus in a garden, and it's going to be a joke. Whoever sings that song, I don't know who sings that song, is going to be like, "Oh, it's an octopus in the garden. I have an idea for a song." And that's the kind of low-hanging fruit, is to call it something that's not Octopus's Garden, like arthropods shrubbery. So that was one of the ideas. I also realized that Ringo, in the first video that I made, Ringo was kind of unliked and hated by everyone as like a talentless kind of weirdo. But if you watch the Disney Plus series, or the miniseries or whatever it is, it's like 9 hours. I only watched like an hour of it, an hour and a half. But you kind of realize that everyone kind of liked him, and everyone thought he was kind of like adorable. So I have to kind of retcon Ringo's role in it. And I also have to retcon the little monster thing. What's his name? Jeffrey. Shout out to Preston Gray. He pointed that out to me originally, that Jeffrey only speaks in rhyme. So I'm gonna have fun with that. I'm gonna have a few ideas for that. So in the story, they're gonna be swimming along, and then they're gonna the monster Jeffrey comes, and he tells them he sees something up ahead. They're gonna look through their periscope, and they're gonna see this pirate island or pirate ship or something with a pirate, and then he's gonna be singing a song or something, and then they're gonna attack him, and then the pirate is going to destroy the submarine and send everyone flying. They're all gonna get separated at the end of this second video. So that's the idea. It's gonna be the dark one, the dark chapter of the series. And then it's gonna be nice because I'm gonna also have an idea to have Ringo is gonna be there. Ringo is going to be stuck there with the pirate, and that kind of gives me some ideas for some Dennis the Menace kind of hijinks, chicanery. So yeah, that's the very rough idea. You'll notice that it gets very less specific as I go. I drew a few pictures of like the Octopus's Garden, which is like a 5-second joke, and like swimming through the ocean, which is like a 5-second joke, and then the next like 5 minutes of it are covered by like 3 images or something. But as I get to work on it, it will get more specific and more concrete. And you'll also notice that it's very ambitious. The first video was very amateurish, as I said. It was very Like I was watching it again recently, and you can see the dust. It's very dusty. My room is just very dusty, and you can see like there's a ton of there's a ton of continuity errors in the background. There's all sorts of very amateurish like mistakes. So I want to kind of tighten that up a bit, make it a little more professional, hopefully. And some of these shots will probably maybe require some sort of special effects, which I don't know how to do, but I mean, if I work on this, I'll have to learn. I mean, I can look it up maybe. So now to my plan, to my approach on how to do this. So as I mentioned in comments, shoutouts Preston Gray, the Beatles Submarine and all of my Legos, in fact, are not with me, and they're in storage in my parents' house, in my father's basement, in another continent. I currently don't live anywhere near my parents' house. So in order to get that Lego submarine, I would need to have it shipped to my house, which for a transcontinental shipment, it would cost a lot of money. And I also want to buy that Lego Pirates 3-in-1 ship, Pirate Cove kind of thing. It's on the website. I'm not sure if it's available anymore, but I'll try to see if it's available. And I might have to renew licenses for Adobe. I haven't used Premiere since I last made that last video, so who knows what that situation is. So I might have to do that. Anyway, the point is that this is going to take a lot of effort and time and money. And I feel like I don't want to work on this if there's not enough interest in it. And I was looking into Kickstarter, but that was a whole issue in and of itself. Specifically because of the country that I live in, it's not available here, and all sorts of like weird tax things, and I have to it's a lot of commitment. So I don't know if I want to even do this if the interest isn't there. So I want to first start. If you think this is something that you would like to see, and it's something that you could maybe support financially, I'm not asking for a lot, like $5 or something, then I want you to leave a like on this video. If you don't think it's something you want to support, that's fine too. I do not care. I realized working on this first video, I remember working on this first video, it took me like 6 months of working after, I got home from work, and I worked on the video for 30 minutes or an hour. And I did this for many months. I did that for many months before I finally finished this thing. So, I mean, it sounds kind of like I'm kind of interested in it and I'm kind of motivated. But also at the same time, I realize that it's going to be a ton of work. And I'm not sure I want to commit to that. Maybe I do. Anyways, I feel like I would get more motivated if there were a lot of people who were actually interested in this. So, if I get enough likes, we'll say 500. Is that a reasonable amount of likes? If you get enough likes, then I will take the next step, which is securing some sort of Kickstarter or funding model for this thing. It feels a little weird. It feels a little weird to ask for money from this channel, considering that this channel is basically nothing. But I'm not going to do this out of my own pocket. That's not an option. I'm not going to do that. So, crowdfunding is the only really way that this is going to be made. And for that to happen, I really need to see that there are more people than one. I know that there's one person who's interested in this. Shoutouts Preston Gray. But I'm going to see that there's more people that are willing to kind of put up a little bit of money for this thing. Otherwise, it's just going to kind of die in the crib, which is fine. I don't care that much. But if there are people that are interested, then that's cool too. And I'd like to see it happen if it can happen. So let's try and see if it happens. So if you want to see this happen, leave a fat like on the stupid video. And if you have any other suggestions for funding or ideas, or if you have any story edits or any other story ideas you want to suggest, or any other points to make, also feel free to leave those as a comment. Feel free to leave a comment. That would also be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, have a great day.